Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Good morning, everyone. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 24. So, does anyone remember what we read yesterday?
Hare Krishna. At this point, I remember that one can fulfill the ultimate goal of life only by engaging in devotional service to the Lord. Then the Lord will give one proper instructions on how to go back home, back to Godhead.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Hare
We
Krishna,
also,
Shilpaji.
yes, Hare
Sorry,
Krishna.
I just have one question
Mhm,
because I was just reading the last, that is 52.
mhm.
So it is written here in the last purport, in the last lines, that भले ही कोई जान के बल पर ब्रह्मभूत पद को क्यों ना पाले.
Yeah,
this one, yeah, ब्रह्मभूता. सो भले ही कोई ज्ञान के बल पर ब्रह्मभूत पद को क्यों ना पाले तथा अपने आध्यात्मिक स्वरूप को क्यों ना समझ ले. So the adhyatmic swarup here is the spiritual identity.
means understanding I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul.
Only that,
That's the
right?
Brahma. Yeah,
Not your spiritual identity in the Golok Vrindavan. It didn't mean that, right?
no, no.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Yeah, because when I was reading this, then I thought that how can just on the knowledge, like just on the base of gyan, you can know your adhyatmic swarup. So what they mean here is that you know that you're soul and not the body, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, perfect.
okay.
Because this was little confusing. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And then we were hearing yesterday that Satyavrat Maharaj, he was saying that out of ignorance, we are accepting some person who's not qualified to be a guru, but we are accepting him as a guru out of ignorance. We heard he was saying out of foolishness, we are so attached to this material world due to our lusty desires. And then those who are intelligent, and because of this foolishness, because of this deep material desires, we are not able to hear the instructions of the Paramatma or even his representative. And then those who are intelligent, they take up the path of devotional service. They understand the goal of life. Okay, so let's go on. Text
Yes.
53.
Our goal is to revive, right? Our love for
Yeah.
the Lord.
Yeah,
The criteria of the guru was also given. He
Yeah.
told,
criteria.
he mentioned the criteria of the guru.
Yeah,
To take us, right? To connect us to Krishna.
Krishna.
That should be
Yes,
the criteria.
connect us to Krishna, to take us back home, back to Godhead. That is the criteria. Usually, what is the some criteria that we may think? You know, what is a popular idea according to which people choose a guru?
Mm. Yeah.
That
What would
he's
they
wearing
be?
a saffron clothes and he's having,
Yes,
he's
many
speaking
devotees.
something
He
nice. He can
thinks
give
he
us
has many people,
gold.
yeah, following him.
Sometimes people also believe that who's doing magic is a proper guru. Who can just
Yeah,
fulfill their all desires is a guru.
fulfill this. Yeah.
Material
Or what
desires,
is,
yeah.
yeah,
Wearing saffron
saffron,
clothes.
saffron, or they have some kind of a power, mystic power,
Yeah, mystic power.
or they have, what you said, too many,
Speak
a
the
lot of followers. What is it?
followers, yes.
Followers,
A lot
yeah.
of followers. Or someone may think that, okay, this has been my family and friends have always followed this guru, so I need
Hmm.
to also. It's in our tradition.
Hmm.
We may make up all these criteria, or as you all said, many followers, so he's very popular nowadays.
Hmm.
So, but that's not the criterion here. Satyavrat Maharaj is saying the criterion is one who can take us back home, back to Godhead. That's the
Also,
goal of
we
life. Mm.
yeah heard that people in general, right, approach the demigods to get material benedictions,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
these benedictions are temporary. So one should aspire for eternal, right, benedictions from the Supreme Lord itself,
yeah,
right?
yes, yes. The benedictions
And
of the demigods are temporary.
because they also said that anybody's anybody's mercy is not even the Krishna's mercy is 10,000 times more than any of the demigods or anything,
Yeah,
because it began with that
Yeah,
any
not even
devta,
can
any
compare
guru,
10,000
yeah,
times.
you can't
Yeah,
even come, yeah,
cannot even compare
yeah,
that
to the equal
one ten
equal of all
thousand.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, cannot
So the
even
so we
compare.
should just
So
surrender to
it's,
Krishna only,
yeah,
and we should take
you
his
can,
shelter only. So like Satyavrat Maharaj is making all these prayers. Yeah. He's
yeah.
instructing all this, he's telling all this. Yeah.
So really very instructive for all of us. No?
yeah.
It's very instructive
Yeah.
for like the average person. Uh, Okay, so
Wow.
let's go on then with today's text 53. Tvam tvam aham deva varam varenyam
Tvam aham devavaram varenyam
prapadya isham pratibodhanaya
prapadya isham pratibodhanaya
chindi artha chin chindi arthadiper bhagavan vachobhir
छिंदी अर्थ दीपैर भगवन वचो भी
granthin hridayan bivranu swam okaha.
ग्रंथीन हृदय यान विवृष्णु स्वमोकः.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O Supreme Lord, for self-realization I surrender unto you, who are worshipped by the demigods as the supreme controller of everything. By your instructions, exposing life's purpose, kindly cut the knot from the core of my heart and let me know the destination of my life. The knot. Sometimes it is argued that people do not know who is a spiritual master, and that finding a spiritual master from whom to get enlightenment in regard to the destination of life is very difficult. To answer all these questions, King Satyavrat shows us the way to accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the real spiritual master. The Supreme Lord has given full directions in Bhagavad Gita about how to deal with everything in this material world and how to return home back to Godhead. Therefore, one should not be misled by so called gurus who are rascals and fools. Rather, one should directly see the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the guru or instructor. It is difficult, however, to understand Bhagavad Gita without the help of the guru. Therefore, the guru appears in the parampara system. So here Satyavrat Maharaj is saying, because somebody may take advantage of our faith or mislead us, misguide us, or we may say, "Oh, I don't know how to find a guru." There's so much out there. I don't know who is the real guru. So Satyavrat Maharaj is saying, accept Krishna as the original guru. Accept the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So, but then how to understand the instructions of Bhagavad Gita? We need a teacher, no? Like we have the textbooks, right? Nobody becomes a doctor just by buying the textbook. We still have to get training. We still go to school, get training from a teacher. So we need a guru coming in the parampara system to explain the Bhagavad Gita to us. In Bhagavad Gita 4:34, the Supreme Personality of Godhead recommends Tat Vidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshayanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattvadarshina. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So Krishna himself is saying that you hear this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in the parampara system. You approach a bona fide representative, a guru, you serve him, inquire from him, and because he has knowledge, he will give you this knowledge. We cannot give what we don't have. What we have, we can give. So Lord Krishna directly instructed Arjuna. Arjuna is therefore Tattvadarshi or Guru. Arjuna accepted the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. So how we have like our Krishna is giving instructions to Lord Brahma, Brahma to Narad, Narad to Vyasadev. Here Krishna, he is starting a new parampara. He is giving knowledge to Arjuna, right? So Arjuna is a guru, because he's accepted, he's understood the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. He's understood that Krishna is God, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, following in the footsteps of Sri Arjuna, who is a personal devotee of the Lord, one should accept the supremacy of Lord Krishna as supported by Vyasa, Devala, Asita, Narada, and later by the Acharyas Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka, and Vishnu Swami, and still later by the greatest Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here Prabhupada is saying that, someone may say it's so difficult because Satyavrat Maharaj is saying, right, that someone may argue it's so difficult to find a guru. But here we can see that it's not difficult. They are there. We just need to know who are the real gurus. So, of course, these great acharyas, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka, Vishnu Swami, and then we have Lord Chaitanya, greatest acharya. Lord Chaitanya, Krishna himself, came to teach us devotional service, came to give us Krishna Prema. It is by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya that we can get the mercy of Radha and Krishna. We need the mercy of Gaur Nitai. So, if one is sincere, he can find the Guru and learn everything. One should take lessons from the Guru and find out the goal of life. So this is what we need to ask the Guru, because sometimes we may ask the Guru some, okay, tell me something about my health, or tell me something about my future, or my finance, or my children. But the real thing that one needs to ask from the Guru, and what is that?
Inquire about Krishna.
Yeah, find out the goal of life. What is the goal
Mhm.
of this human life, And then the real Guru, he will bring us to Krishna, engage us in devotional service, bring us back home, back to Godhead. Maharaj Satyavrat therefore shows us the way of the Mahajan. Mahajano yena gata sapantha. One should surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dasha-avatar, and learn from him about the spiritual world and the goal of life. So Satyavrat Maharaj is saying, don't get involved with people who misguide. Accept Krishna as the original spiritual master. Accept a spiritual master who's coming in the parampara. Understand the goal of life and go back home, back to Godhead. Is that okay?
One says Dashavatara. Dashavatara
Yeah,
means 10 avatars. That's what it means.
Avatar. Yeah, Dashavata. The Supreme Lord. He came as Dashavatar. Learn about the spiritual world from him.
He came as Dashavatara.
The 10 avatars that are famous.
And the 10 means combine all, all the 10
Yeah,
avatars, right? That's what it
yeah,
means.
yeah.
Oh,
Or the one from whom all the Dashavatars also come. Supreme Personality of Godhead. You
okay,
can
from,
understand it in both ways.
okay, yeah,
Yeah. So surrendering to Krishna, he's the origin of all the avatars.
all the, okay.
Learn about him from spiritual world and goal of life. Krishna is speaking about spiritual world in Bhagavad Gita. He says that this material world is temporary, it is full of miseries. And then he says that there is another world, spiritual world, which is ever existing. Right? And then he's telling us that we are eternal parts and parcels of him. And we are just struggling here in this material world. Whereas we surrender unto him and we go back to the spiritual world. Shishukovacha
Shri Shukra Uvacha
iti uktavantam nripatam
iti
iti uktavantam nirpatim
uktavantam
Bhagavan Adi Purushaha
Bhagavan
Bhagavan
Adi
Adi
Purusha
Matsya Rupi Mahambodo
Matsya
Matsya
Rupi
Rupi Mahabodho
Mahabodho
Viharam Statvam Abravit.
Viharam
Viharam
Sattvam
Sattvam
Abravit.
Abravit.
Sukadev Goswami continued, when Satyavrat had thus prayed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had assumed the form of a fish, the Lord, while moving in the water of inundation, explained to him the absolute truth. So Matsya Avatar is giving instructions to Satyavrat Maharaj. Explain to him about absolute truth. Purana Samhitam Divyam
Purana
Purana
Samhita
Samhitam
Divya
Divyam
Sankhya Yoga Kriyavatim
Sankhya
Samhita
Yoga
Yoga
Kriya
Kriyavatim
Satyavratasya Rajarashe
Satyavratasya
Satyavratasya
Rajarishi
Rajarishe
Atma Guyam Acheshataha.
Atma Guhyam
Atmaguyam
Asheshataha
Asheshataha.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead thus explained to King Satyavrat the spiritual science known as Sankhya Yoga, the science by which one distinguishes between matter and spirit, in other words, Bhakti Yoga, along with the instructions contained in the Puranas, the old histories, and the Samhitas. The Lord explained himself in all these literatures. So Satyavrat Maharaj offered prayers to Matsya Avatar, and now Matsya Avatar is giving knowledge to Satyavrat, speaking to him about Sankhya Yoga, difference between matter and the soul, material elements, how this material world is made up of all these 24 material elements. And then the soul is separate, and higher than the soul is the super soul. And so the soul has actually nothing to do with this matter, but rather needs to engage in devotional service, bhakti yoga. Also, he told him instructions of the Puranas, the Samhitas. He explained himself in all these literatures. So he's speaking about himself, like how Krishna is speaking, right, in Bhagavad Gita. He's giving knowledge about himself. So here Matsya Avatar is explain himself in all these literatures, Puranas, Samhitas. Is that okay?
Yes, but only wanted to ask. So that means I think when the boat came, right? That big boat came and Satyavrat Maharaj had to get the herbs and all the entities, like living entities. So that's the
Yes,
time I think, right? Then
yes, yes,
he came, right? Okay.
yes. That everything got filled with water. All the
With the water,
worlds were
yes.
in water. The boat
Right.
came, collected
Mm.
everyone. Then Matsya Avatar came
Came
with one
and
horn. He
yeah.
tied the boat to Matsya Avatar
Yes.
with the Vasuki snake.
Mm.
And then
And
he's
this is the
offering
time.
these beautiful prayers. Yeah, that's the time.
In the same Sankhya thing, Sankhya Yoga was also explained by Lord Kapila, right?
That's right. Yes, that's right. Sankhya Yoga also spoken by Lord Kapila. Ashra Shid Rishabhi Sakam
Ash.
Asa Oshi Vishipshakam
Atma Tattvam Asamshayam
Atma Tattvam Ashamshayam
Navi Asino Bhagavatam
Navi
Navi
Ashino
Asi
Bhagavata
Bhagavata
Proktam Brahma Sanatanam.
Proktam
Proktam Brahma Sanatanam
Sanatanam.
While sitting in the boat, King Satyavrat, accompanied by the great saintly persons, listened to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in regard to self realization. These instructions were all from the eternal Vedic literature, Brahma. Thus, the king and sages had no doubt about the absolute truth. So, after hearing from Matsya Avatar, King Satyavrat and uh, the sages, they've heard these instructions, these Vedic instructions, and now they have understood the absolute truth. So the sages are also hearing. They're also there in the boat. What Matsya Avatar is telling them. So he's giving them transcendental knowledge, knowledge of the absolute truth. How Krishna is giving knowledge of absolute truth in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Atita pralaya paya
Atita
Atita
Pralaya
Pralaya Paya
utthitaya savedase
Uttitraya
Uttitaya
Savedase
Savedashe
hatva asuram hayagrivam
Atva
Atva
Asuram
Ashuram
Hayagrivam
Hayagrivam
vedan pratya aharadhari.
Vedan
Vedan Pratyaharadhari
At the end of the last inundation, during the period of Swayambhuva Manu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead killed the demon named Hayagriva and delivered all the Vedic literatures to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleeping. So this was the first time when Matsya Avatar had appeared. When was that time? In which Manvanta?
the Swayambhuva.
Yeah, during the time of Swayambhuva Manu. So
That's
what
the first
happens
one,
when Lord
right?
Brahma sleeps? Huh?
That's the first Manu, right?
Yes,
Swayambhuva Manu, right?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, first Manu.
Mm.
Then it was time for Lord Brahma to sleep. So
Mm.
when he sleeps at night, the lower worlds, the lower middle, up to the Swargalok, all gets in water. Lord Brahma was sleeping and the Vedas were coming from his mouth. And Hayagriv, a demon, he stole these Vedas. Because everything was in water, the Lord came as a Matsya avatar, took the form of a fish because everything is in water. Killed the demon and gave the Vedas back to Lord Brahma after Lord Brahma got up. Satu Satyavrato Raja
Satu Satyavarto Raja
Raja
Jnana Vijnana Samyutaha
Jnana
Jnana Vijnana Samyuta
Vishnu Prasadat Kalpesmin
Vishnu Prasadat
Prasadam
Kalpesmin
Kalpusmin
Asid Vaivasvato Manu.
Asid Vaivasvato
Ashidvashvasovato Manu
King Satyavrat was illuminated with all Vedic knowledge by the mercy of the Lord Vishnu, and in this period he has now taken birth as Vaivasta Manu, the son of the sun god. So Sukadev Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj that this same Satyavrat king who got knowledge from Matsya Avatar, now we are in the seventh Manu, and he's born as the son of the sun god, Vivaswan. So his name is Vaivasta Manu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives his verdict that Satyavrat appeared in the Chakshusha Manvantar. When the Chakshusha Manvantar ended, the period of Vaivasta Manu began. By the grace of Lord Vishnu, Satyavrat received instructions from the second fish incarnation and was thus enlightened in all spiritual knowledge. So Matsya Avatar, he had appeared in Chakshusha Manu, in that Manvantar, in the sixth Manvantar. And it was when his rule was ending, then this inundation had happened, where Satyavrat, where all the worlds low up till the heavenly planets was all filled in water. So, so then, so this was the second fish incarnation, as we are hearing. Okay, so now we
Yeah,
go
that's what
to
I was a bit
text.
confused. That yeah, so this is the second time because the first one then that means that is in the first Manu, right? First
The
Manvantara.
first,
Ah,
yeah,
oh,
that's right. So the Matsya Avatar came twice.
nice. Yeah, yeah. It was mentioned,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, twice. One in the Swayambhuva Manvantar,
Mhm.
and then the
Yeah,
second was
second
in the uh, Chakshusha
Chakshusha
Manvantar.
Manu. Oh,
Yeah. So then let's go on. Sorry. Okay, text 59. Satyavratasya Rajarasher
Satyavratasya Rajarishir
Maya Matsyasya Sharangina
Maya Matsyasya Sharingana
Samvada Mahad Akhyanam
Sambadam Mahad Akhyanam
Shrutva Muchyeta Kilbishad.
Shrutva Mucheta Kilpishat.
This story concerning the great King Satyavrat and the fish incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is a great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reactions of sinful life. So here we are seeing Sukadev Goswami is saying that anyone who hears this narration of this pastime of Matsya avatar and King Satyavrat, this narration is not ordinary, not like we say, oh, this picture, this happened, on this show, this happened, like this one, this. No, this is a transcendental pastime. It's a pastime of the Lord. And anyone who hears it gets free from all the sinful reactions. Avataram Hariryoyam
Avataram Hariryoyam
Kirtayed Anvaham Nara
Kirtayet Anvaham Nara
Sankalpastasya Siddhyanti
Sankalpastasya Siddhyanti
Sa Yati Paramam Gatam.
Sayati Paramam Gatim.
One who narrates this description of the Matsya incarnation and King Satyavrat will certainly have all his ambitions fulfilled, and he will undoubtedly return home back to Godhead. So by hearing it, one gets free of sinful life, right? One hearing it gets free from sinful life, and one who is narrating this, he can go back home, back to Godhead, have all his ambitions fulfilled. Go back home, back to means whatever desires, and then go back home, back to Godhead. Pralaya pyasi dhatu supta shaktir mukhebhya
Pralaya Payasi Dhatu Supta Shaktir Mukhebhya
shruti ganam apanitam pratyupadata hatva
Shruti Ganam Apanitam Pratyupadatta Hatva
ditijam akathayodyo brahma satyavratanam
Ditijam Akathayat Yo Brahma Satyavratanam
tam aham akhila hetum jimaminam natosmi.
Tam Aham Akhila Hetum Jima Minam Natosmi.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who pretended to be a gigantic fish, who restored the Vedic literature to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleep, and who explained the essence of Vedic literature to King Satyavrat and the great saintly persons. Here is a summary of Satyavrat's meeting with the fish incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu's purpose was to take back all the Vedic literatures from the demon Hayagriva and restore them to Lord Brahma. Incidentally, by his causeless mercy, the Lord spoke with Satyavrat. The word Satyavratana is significant because it indicates that those on the level of Satyavrat can take knowledge from the Vedas delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever is spoken by the Supreme Lord is accepted as Veda. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Krit Vedavid, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the compiler of all Vedic knowledge, and he knows the purport of the Vedas. So, what the Lord is speaking, that is knowledge, and that is Ved. Krishna is the original speaker of the Vedas. He spoke the Vedas to Lord Brahma in the heart. Now he's speaking to Satyavrat, King Satyavrat. And what he's speaking is Ved, knowledge of the absolute truth. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the compiler of all Vedic knowledge, and he knows the purport of the Vedas. So Krishna, he's the original speaker of the Vedas, so he knows, of course, what the Vedas mean. And Srila Vyasadeva, who is an incarnation of Lord Krishna, is empowered to compile the Vedas because he understands the Vedas, so he can compile it. Therefore, anyone who takes knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, or from Bhagavad Gita as it is, knows the purpose of the Vedas. Vedescha sarver aham eva vedya. One cannot understand Vedic knowledge from Vedavata Ratas, who read the Vedas and misconstrue their subject matter. One has to know the Vedas from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 24th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Matsya, the Lord's fish incarnation. So this brings us to the end of this chapter of Matsya Avatar. Here Prabhupada is putting a point that to really understand the Vedas, we need to hear it from a person who has understood the real meaning of the Vedas, not one who is representing the Vedas or understand it just as a scholarly way. But the real purpose of Vedas is to understand Krishna. This commentation has been finished in our New Delhi Center today, the 1st of September 1976, the day of Radhashtami, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Acharyas. So Srila Prabhupada, he finished writing this commentary on Radhashtami, 1st September 1976. We are right now into 2025. 1976, 2025. That is 29, 31 years, right? Also, no more. 76. So it's like, how much is it? 50 years. 49 years ago in the New Delhi Center. Now, of course, Delhi has so many temples. Yeah, so many temples are there. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sane Vasa Janme Janme Haya E Abhilash. I am attempting to present Srimad Bhagavatam in the English language by the order of my spiritual master, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And by his grace, the work of translation is gradually progressing, and the European and American devotees who have joined the Krishna consciousness movement are helping me considerably. Thus, we have expectations of finishing the great task before my passing away. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. End of the 8th canto. So this brings us to the end of the 8th canto. Here Srila Prabhupada is saying that he's doing this translation work because he got this instruction from his Guru, from his spiritual master. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told him that you give this knowledge of Krishna consciousness in the English language. And this is 1976, and Srila Prabhupada, he left the body in 1977 after a year. So brings us to the end of the 8th canto. Did anyone want to have anything to say?
He finished this task, completing and then the following year. Yeah,
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada.
10th canto, he, not full 10th canto.
Right.
He gave purports to 10th canto, I think, until chapter 14, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the reason he had written the Krishna book earlier, because he was always feeling he may not be able to finish the full Bhagavatam, and he wanted to give us Krishna's pastimes as it is in the 10th canto. And so that's the reason he wrote the Krishna book. Yeah, so
No,
in
but
1 year, that means he finished
76, yeah. He finished 2 cantos. That means, right?
ninth canto,
And then 10th
ninth canto, 10th
part
he began
again,
the
yeah.
10th canto and some chapters of 10th canto. And
Mm,
simultaneously, he was also translating so many different books,
mm,
It's amazing, amazing the amount of this treasure that Srila Prabhupada has left for us. So, 8th canto, we finished now. We came up to
Yes.
8th canto. We
Yeah.
started reading about 4 years ago, I was remembering.
Yeah.
Around this time. Around
Was
this
it
time,
4?
somewhere here. Huh?
Not 2020?
Yeah, during COVID. We started in
COVID, yeah.
2020
During
COVID, yeah.
20. Yeah,
April. Yeah,
2020.
April. We started in April, Shilpa ji.
So,
April.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's
So it
5
was
years. 5 years now.
5 years, is it? We
yeah,
started
Mm.
5 years.
2020, is it? Not 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not
No, no,
21.
no.
No,
Oh, okay.
COVID, yeah, it was
2020.
COVID. Yeah.
2020. So,
Because when I turned back my books, when I used to write, so I have the dates, exact dates
okay.
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. 2020. So it's 5 years, huh? That
yeah,
we have
yeah.
been reading. 5 years. Yeah.
अरे जल्दी आप
So it's
yeah
been
5 years.
good. Yeah. That we all are able to read is really mercy of Krishna,
Yes.
mercy of Srila Prabhupada. We are able to read this. Very grateful. Grateful to you all.
We are grateful to
Reading
you.
together.
We are
Krishna's
grateful to
mercies.
you too because you took the thing, no? The initiative of connect,
Krishna's mercy. Thank you. So tomorrow we are going to begin from ninth canto. Does anyone want to say anything about 8th canto? You all want to have anything to share? Any realizations? There's many different
I
pastimes
learned
in
about
8th
a
canto.
Jamil. Yeah, I loved the passing
Ajamil.
of a Jamil, Gajendra. So they were, life
Mm,
changing, and
mm.
we just knew them as
Ajamil was,
stories.
of course, I'm sorry, just a technical thing.
Sixth,
Ajamil was in the
sixth.
6th, I
Yeah,
think.
sorry, I
But
just
yeah, 8th
remembered.
Gajendra, 8th Gajendra, very nice. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Gajendra.
Gajendra.
Life
Gajendra.
changing, huh?
And yeah, it
You're
is
saying.
life changing because we just heard about them and it's a story. But like, how the churning of the ocean, we knew it as a story. But knowing the technicalities, the small, small details, and the tattva and everything, it was amazing. Like even this last one, the Matsya Avatar, we have heard in the Das Avatar, we hear it again and again, but we never knew it was two of them. So yes, it was magical.
Yeah, thank you. Also, we hear the Matsya Avatar, but we didn't, don't hear the prayers that Satyavrat, King
Yes,
Satyavrat
yes.
offered. And those prayers are so rich in knowledge.
But Shilpa ji, I never knew that there were prayers everywhere. I just knew that Gajendra offered the prayers, but everybody is offering the prayers.
Yeah,
Demigods and Lord Krishna himself is having so beautiful instructions.
yeah, yeah, that's a nice point, right? Srimad Bhagavatam is full of prayers, actually. Yeah, right from first canto, we heard prayers of Kunti Devi. It's different prayers, prayers of Lord Shiva, going along, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, yeah, Gajendra, Satyavrat Maharaj. Yes, thank
Even
you.
the one who got the bones churned, I'm forgetting his name, Vratsrasu. I mean, even he can offer
Vritrasur,
prayers.
Vritrasur, yeah,
Bali
Vritrasur,
Maharaj. Oh, the Bali Maharaj was the magical again. How can I
Bali
forget Bali Maharaj?
Maharaj. Yeah,
There's so many prayers.
yeah, yeah. That is how Bhagavatam is so sweet. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So tomorrow we'll begin with Canto 9. Huh? Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta
Jai,
Vrinda ki jai. Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare